YouTube, what's going on, man? It's Father Dark and bright and early here. We got a little bit of information about the new update and a couple other things, some skins that are releasing. But before we get into all that, first thing I think we should just go ahead and get out of the way is the boring stuff like patch notes. So we're going to go ahead and cover that. I'm going to put it on the screen for you guys for those that like to see it and be able to read it yourself. But first, we have general fixes, which is switching from Proficiency Deluxe Avatar back to Standard now works instantly. No relog required. Career profiles now update scores immediately after max proficiency. No more relog needed. Fix misleading block lists, full notification. It mistakenly said the friends list was full. For maps and modes, we have resolved terrain issues where characters could get stuck or clip into unintended areas, fix broken collisions, floating objects, and other environmental glitches, address various sound effect problems across multiple maps. And for hero fixes, we have Loki. His UI no longer disappears after transforming. His tricks stay visible. For Human Torch, we have Flaming Meteor won't trap enemies inside walls anymore. Also, Pyro Prison now disappears correctly when he's defeated. Loki's regeneration domain, overlapping domains won't lose healing effects when re-entered. For Punisher, we have his ultimate won't keep firing missiles during network disruptions. And for Hela, we have fix an issue where she could launch upwards after using her ultimate. Also, she'll now be properly detected near mission vehicles. For Wolverine, we have his ultimate will no longer give enemies unexpected jump boosts. For Jeff the Land Shark, they fixed a bug where frozen spitballs could exceed normal behavior when team up ability was active. For Adam Warlock, if his ultimate fails near cliff edges, 50% energy will now properly be refunded. For Penny Parker, we have positioning issues when hit by Namor's ultimate is now fixed. So they are doing a pretty good job on fixing just random little stuff here, unlike some other games that I won't name where they take 8 years to fix a lot of these random little bugs. Now, a lot of these, I have to be honest, I haven't really dealt with myself personally, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that probably have been affected by it, so that is nice. And moving on to the next thing, we're going to talk about the, let's see here, the event pass that they have. Give me one moment here to pull up my notes. Let's see here. So for the event pass, actually, before we get into the event pass, let's just talk about the update itself. So the update, just general information for that, is going to be around 2.84 gigabytes, and it's set to release on the 6th. Okay. And then after that, we're going to talk about the fact that they have 2 new skins coming. They actually have one called, for Venom, it's going to be called Lingering Imprint. And then for Cloak and Dagger, it's going to be the Twilight Duo costumes. And I'll talk about my thoughts on those in a moment here. But besides that, though, we're going to talk about the event pass. So this event pass, I'm pretty sure that it's free. They haven't said anything about it being paid. Usually when we have event passes, they're free. The only time that I've seen like paid event passes so far is with Call of Duty and let's see, who else did it? Fortnite. Yeah, so they have had them. But usually when that's the case, they usually will say something about that. They don't usually just wait until it's released. I would be very surprised if they just release it and then all of a sudden go, hey, yeah, it's also paid. But the thing that I do think is interesting about it is that in this event pass, you're going to be able to get an MVP animation, an emote, 3 nameplates, 4 sprays, 320 units, and a new gallery calling card. There's also going to be a mystery reward, which obviously we don't know what that is yet, but I'm really interested to see what that's going to be. And then finally, I guess once you're done with it, I'm pretty sure, because that's usually how the events work, is once you've completed all this stuff, you're going to get a Black Widow skin called Mrs. Barnes. There's actually another name for it, but that's just what they have it set up under here. And then, yeah, so now that we've gotten all that stuff out of the way, I can just kind of go in a little bit and rant. But I personally think that Marvel Rivals is doing like a great job, like with their updates and their events. And, you know, this isn't you have to worry. I'm not a Marvel Rivals shill or anything. I'm, you know, like I've said numerous times on this channel was started as a Call of Duty channel, you know, and I've transitioned over into Marvel Rivals simply because, you know, I just kind of go where I feel like I'm appreciated overall as a consumer and a player. Not to mention that, you know, from someone who doesn't even play hero shooters and has never really been interested in hero shooters, I've just been having a great time. You know, I've said that numerous times, but I just feel like props are you know, due where, you know, or you should be given where they're due, right? And, you know, with the amount of updates, the fact that we're only into like season 1 and we're a little over halfway into it, and we've already had numerous events. We've already had a couple of different free skins that they've given. They had free skins that were available to get like in the game, like through just natural progression and different things like that. I forget exactly what that track is called. The the hero's journey, I think is what it's called, where you can get multiple skins. We have one for Storm, one for Star-Lord, which the Storm one I actually like a lot more than the native one. That's actually the one I use, the Ivory, whatever it's called. But I really enjoy that skin. Nonetheless, though, another thing too that I just want to talk about in regards to that, the event pass, I was actually really surprised with the amount of like free units that they threw in there. If you look at, which I'll put a picture of it up, if you look at the event pass, you see that there's just like I said, overall there's 320, but just the amount that I've earned alone from the fact that now the extra tokens that you get from like your, to upgrade your battle pass, I've just been getting a ridiculous amount of units from that, because it's like every other day, I have 1,000, if not like, once a day or whatever, have enough to redeem to be able to get 100 of the units. And from pretty much any other game that I've played where there's some type of currency, especially with there being a free to play game, right? Because, you have to be kind of like understanding of the fact that when the whole point of a game being free to play and the fact that you're constantly getting content from it, which is why so many developers now, or I guess more like companies, the developers, I guess, don't necessarily have a choice in it, but, the companies that are behind the games, they're choosing to go with the free to play model because, if not, you kind of get stuck in like an Overwatch situation where people buy the game, but what's the motivation for them to continue to update it if there's not constantly like, if it's not a free to play game where people are constantly buying cosmetics and stuff like that. And the thing with that is that you can choose to buy what you want to buy. It's not like you're being like backed into a corner where you have to get something to be on the same level with everyone else. It's not pay to win or anything like that. It's simply do you want this or do you not? And, the battle passes so far have been great. They've been really well priced in comparison to other battle passes, along with like the amount of content that you get them and stuff like that. So I just really feel like they're doing a great job, like just kind of overall, like as far as like, updates and, the cosmetics that they are releasing, they're releasing some really good ones and stuff like that. And the events and things like that, being able to get a free skin from all these different events. And if this is like the track that they continue on, I mean, I can only imagine, in the future and stuff like, with the events they're going to be having. Now, to talk about the event itself, the event is going to be, this event where basically you're going to have teams that will get to vote on who they want to play as. That's the way it was described to me. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a thing where like every round you just kind of get randomly, selected as something or whatever. But the way it was described to me is that you will be able to vote on who you want to play as. And then, like in the trailer, I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer, but in the trailer they had an example where it was Iron Man's versus Captain America's, Namor's versus Spider-Man, Punisher's versus whoever it was that they were versing. And I think this is just a really cool, like different original idea. And I'm not gonna lie, the last one that they had that was kind of like it was like a soccer kickball kind of thing going on. I played a couple of those just to kind of like at the very end of the event, just to go ahead and get that skin for Star-Lord, because I did like that one. But it wasn't anything that I really cared about, but I did think it was a creative mode. It's just that I'm more of a I jump on. I usually play a couple rounds of quick play to get warmed up, and then I play competitive. But this mode looks like something I might actually put time into and make a couple videos on. And if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments if you guys would like to see some content for that. But I do think it's a really creative and original idea. I had some comments earlier in a short that I posted about it where people were saying that they had done it in, I believe, Valorant or something like that. So it's not that it's like a completely original thing or that it's never been done before. It's not the case. It's just that, stepping outside of what's like the norm in the comfort zone a lot of times, to give people things that they think are fun, versus just kind of saying like, oh, okay, we're going to make a game mode every once in a blue moon and it's just going to be, some very minute random change or something. So I'm really, happy with the state of Marvel Rivals. I think they're doing a great job overall. The only thing that I would kind of say that this is a little thing for me, there's 35 characters in the game, right? I mean, actually now we have more. I believe we have 37, because I believe it was 33 originally. Yeah, 35, 36, 37. Yeah, so with the release of the Fantastic Four, there should be 37 now, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, like you guys usually do. But nonetheless, though, almost 40 characters in the game, right? And it's like they release skins for like the same characters over and over again. Like, and the thing is too that's kind of weird about it is that when releasing skins is like your whole thing, and you have such a variety of different characters that people play, it's not like it's a game where it's useless to use everyone outside of like 5 or 6 characters or something, right? There actually is a wide variety of characters used, and the ones that people really like, and people feel very passionately about their characters. From any of my videos where I say anything even remotely, not the best about a character, people tend to let me know in the comments how wrong I am, right? But I get it, right? It's one of those kind of games. The game has a lot of personality. The characters have a lot of personality. So people begin to get really attached to their characters. But it's just kind of like wild to me that they've been releasing skins at the pace that they've been releasing them at. I wish they would almost kind of like up the pace a little bit in regards to like releasing skins. And I don't know if there's something where they've done like internal testing and maybe people get overwhelmed if there's too many skins. But for example, with the Cloak and Dagger skin, I kind of like it, but I feel like I'm kind of only liking it because there's just not much to choose from. And I know they know that there's a lot of people that play Cloak and Dagger, and there's other skins that have been leaked. If you haven't seen those, I have a previous video where I leaked a couple of skins, and there was one for Cloak and Dagger that actually looked really cool in my opinion. And I don't get it. And then with Venom, it's like we got a lot of skins for Venom, like, and the skins all kind of are starting to look the same for him. Like I said, I appreciate it. I know we're still early on in the game's lifespan, so I know they have plenty of different skins that they probably will release and can release. But I mean, that's just kind of the thing, is that you have access to the Marvel IP, so you could literally pull from so many different variants and different comic arcs and just one-offs, whatever, right? So that's kind of my only thing with that. Just a little rant that I want to go on there for a second. But besides that, though, there's really nothing that I can complain about in regards to the game. Anytime there seems like there's something where we kind of collectively say, hey, this isn't balanced, or we don't like this, it seems like there's something that they tend to work on immediately and jump on. And like I said, with the progression of the events and stuff and the free skins and having so many different ways that you can earn currency, I've had numerous comments on different videos and stuff where people have said, oh, well, I was actually able to get 2 skins for free or something like that. And there's only so many characters that you're realistically going to play, unless you're somebody like me who just kind of jumps around constantly so that you can become better with characters that you're not as good with. But even still, though, like when it comes time to lock in, I only have a handful or 2 of characters that I actually am like, okay, I know this character inside and out. I'm gonna jump on him and really lock in right now. Stop messing around. But yeah, let me know in the comments though what you guys think about the new event, what do you think about these new skins that are coming out, all that jazz. If there's any random kind of gripes that you have with the game, or if you're loving it, whatever, everything in between, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys and what your thoughts or opinions are. But that's pretty much it. And like I said, the event they said should be releasing on the 6th. Now I saw something that said the 7th, but I'm pretty sure what that is that they go off of like UTC time or something like that, and the way that translates for like Eastern, like I'm on the East Coast, so for me it's like Eastern Standard Time. Usually that translates like into the evening or something like that. And I could be wrong, but like I said, that's what I saw on numerous different outlets that I usually go to for a lot of like my reliable news and information on the game. But yeah, like I said, that's all I pretty much have. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But this is Dark. I'm out. I appreciate you guys for listening. Catch you on the next one.